Okay, so I suggest that we start because whenever starting, everybody is going to jump in and hop in. Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us for this webinar jointly organized between the Chamber of Commerce and Industry, France, Kazakhstan, and SKEMA Business School. My name is Steven Bostrom. I'm the Commercial Director of the Chamber of Commerce, France, Kazakhstan. Today, as speakers, we will have Anke Middelman, who is the Program Director for SKEMA Business School, and Thibaut Broussol, who is the Key Account Manager. And they will talk about SKEMA's Global Executive MBA. And without any further ado, I will leave the floor to Anke.
Okay, thank you very much, Stephen, for that introduction. It is a great pleasure to be here with all of you today. And let's dive right in. So you have with you today me, Anke Middelman. I'm the Program Director, and I have worked on the Global Executive MBA for nearly 6 years now. And Thibaut, would you like to give a quick introduction of yourself?
Hi, welcome everyone. I'm Thibaut Broussol, Key Account Manager in SKEMA Business School in the Global Executive MBA.
Thank you, Thibaut. So today, what we would very much like to do is to give you an overview of our global EMBA program. But before that, I think it's worth just having a look at the context in which we've designed this program and in which it takes place. So we are a program at SKEMA Business School. So the context of SKEMA is quite important to take into consideration here. As you can see from this slide, we have a very international outlook. So we have alumni based all over the world, and we have a very large proportion of international students and faculty throughout the school and throughout all the programs that SKEMA Business School offers. We also work with a lot of partner companies all over the world. And one of our other defining features is that we have a focus on entrepreneurship as well. So with SKEMA Ventures, which is a unit within SKEMA Business School, we incubate projects that students and alumni of SKEMA design and put into practice, and with a good success rate as well. As you can see, altogether every year we have about 10,000 students who go through one of our many programs. We are also a triple accredited business school, which means that we have accreditations in the US and in Europe and internationally. So this is a little bit the backdrop of the school. We also, the international outlook goes further than that too, in terms of where we are located. And as you can see, we have campuses a little bit all over the world. Thibaut is based in Paris, while I am speaking to you from the Lille campus in northern France. And we have campuses in China, in South Africa, Brazil, the United States, and we are opening a campus in Dubai in the United Arab Emirates later this year. It's been a vision that we've had for a long time since SKEMA was founded, to really have this opening to the world, because the globalization trend is here to stay, despite the different iterations that it might go through. And we're also very forward-looking in that we have a focus on artificial intelligence through our Innovation Center in Montreal, Canada. It's very much a research center on everything to do with artificial intelligence. And as part of our vision, we have schools, as you can see at the bottom of this slide, that are focused on certain specializations in terms of AI, law, geopolitics, and design, which are integrated into many of our programs at the undergraduate and at the Master of Science levels. So this is a little bit the backdrop to the Global Executive MBA, which is what we're here to discuss today in a little bit more detail. So the Global EMBA is a part-time program for executives who feel this urge for a little bit of intellectual oxygen and also a desire to move forward in their careers. So it's global in terms of its reach. We have students from most parts of the world in the program, and it takes between 18 to 24 months because it is part-time. So it's not a full-time program. One of the unique features of our program, and this is really since this program came to life 10 years ago, is the fact that it takes a blended form, which means that we have both in-person classes, and I'll explain a little bit about that later, but we also have an online format whereby students work from their respective parts of the world, participate in classes with teachers, but do get together during various times of the program. We hold the triple accreditation for the program as well, and I think it's also important to point out that the program is recognized by the French Ministry of Higher Education. As you can see from our rankings, we have a worldwide renown and a European renown, and the diversity is one of our strengths. We have students from many different parts of the world in the program, and this makes for a very, very dynamic learning environment. So to go into a little bit more detail, as with any executive MBA, students have courses and learning and develop knowledge and expertise in all of the business function courses. So anything from marketing to HR to corporate finance to strategy, etc., is included in the program. We take this a step further because rather than a program that just has course after course after course, we interlink these business functions with more interdisciplinary courses. And as you'll see, we have a focus on sustainability and technology, which are really the drivers in business today and tomorrow. And I would say that our other key focus is very much the need, as a result of technological progress and sustainability urgencies, if you like, to deliver and to design transformation, business transformation. One of the other reasons that many of our students come to us is that they have a lot of experience, but they would like to move into levels of leadership, into positions of leadership, and they feel that they need the skills for that as well. So we do have quite a focus on personal and professional development for our students within the program. And the final big project in the program is what we call a capstone, but it's also it's a final thesis, if you like. It's an in-depth piece of work where we encourage our participants to focus on a topic that is something that is aligned with who they are, with their preferences, with their aspirations, and to therefore focus on a business-related area, sometimes a leadership area that they want to explore in further depth. And we have a very expert faculty that then accompanies students through this entire process. So the way our program works is that, as I just said, rather than give people one course and another course and another course that are all standalones. We've designed a kind of journey for our students, and I sometimes see it as a little bit as building a house, so to speak, where in the opening chapter, chapter 1, so you can see it's a bit of a storyline that our students go through. We look at the context in which business is done today. So we look at the economics, we look at geopolitics, we look at opportunities and challenges in the business environment to really prepare the ground for what the students will learn later. This is also where they start their personal development journey in terms of understanding who they are and what really makes them tick. Then they move into so once that foundation has been set, they move into that next stage, which could be like the ground floor of a house, really, which is to look at the fundamentals of business, which in terms of corporate finance, in terms of business strategy, but also in terms of the technological factors that need to be taken into account, data science, information, etc., that they will need to understand how to build upon the foundations. This is also where they're introduced to sustainability issues in a big way. Once that's been that ground floor has been put in place, we can move on to chapter 3, which is a little bit like the next floor of your house, which is how organizations and operations are shaped based on what has gone before. This is also where we look at supply chain and operations issues, and always in a very international context. With all of this in place, in the final chapter, it's a little bit like putting the roof on this house. It's closing the journey with a really in-depth practical understanding of what is required for transformation. So the students look at issues of transformation, how these transformations can be engineered and designed, taking into account everything that they've learned in previous chapters. Now, these are the themes of the chapters, and students will have business courses, business function courses running throughout the program, as well as these more interdisciplinary contextual courses as well. What you also see is that there is a city under each chapter, and these are our residential weeks. Now, when I explained to you that the program is hybrid, this means that a lot of the learning is done in an online format, in terms of classes through Teams with a professor, as well as self-paced learning. However, we recognize that despite all the technology and the facility of digital communications, people have a human need to connect. And we do this in each chapter of the program. So for us, it's very important that that human connection is encouraged and deepened throughout the journey. So we open the program in Paris with a residential week. So RW is always a residential week where everybody comes together on our Paris campus for real immersion into the program, to get to know each other, so that after this residential week, when people go back to their home countries, they know who they are working with, and group work becomes that much easier. The next residential week takes place in the United States on our Raleigh, North Carolina campus, where we look at where we do have classes, but also a lot of visits to local companies so that they can discover the local ecosystems. And this is the case for China and Brazil as well, where classes are linked with a real immersion into the local ecosystem. And as you can see here, these are some of the places. These are the places that we take our students to. We don't have enough weeks in the program to take them to every single SKEMA campus, unfortunately, but these are the ones that are the ones that are the best linked with the nature of the courses that are taught in the program. So in Raleigh, there is this discovery of technology because Raleigh, North Carolina forms part of the Research Triangle Park, which is the second after Silicon Valley in the United States for technology development and innovation. Suzhou in China is the campus where students discover supply chains and the global impact of global operations. And in Brazil, we look at how transformation can be driven from a Brazilian perspective. And at the same time, during these residential weeks, the students can network with each other and also with professionals and companies that they meet throughout this week. And we do know that our students keep in touch with the executives that they meet in all of these places. So Thibault, I will now hand over to you to talk a little bit more about some of the specificities of the program, and then I think we'll be very happy to take any questions that may come up.
Yes, thanks, Anke. So basically, we are addressing senior managers, executives, business units leaders, or experienced professionals with either a bachelor's or master's degree. It's important to have indeed at least 5 years of significant professional experience with managerial responsibilities, as well as international work experience, either abroad or in an international environment. Of course, additionally, proficiency in English at an advanced level is required. Also, the tuition fee for program is 38,000 euros with various financing options available. As for now, till the end of the month, we have an early bird offer with a 4,000 euros discount by applying before the end of the month. You have some key statistics from the class of 2022. So basically, the average age was 39 years old. And on average, participants had 14 years of professional experience. And that's a very strong point. 91% of our participants had international profiles. The gender distribution was 58% men and 42% women. So for those interested in applying, our admissions process operates on a rolling basis. Applications are currently open for the fall 2024 cohorts. You can apply online by completing the application form and submitting the required documents, or you can contact me directly. By the way, I will be in Astana on the 2nd of May and in Almaty on the 3rd of May. Thank you for your attention. Do you have any questions?